What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to talk about Queen Mary, apparently, because Oscar's got it today. Let's get into it. What is up, dudes? Welcome back for episode 40. Damn, we're at 40. We're almost at 50. We got to do something commemorative at 50. I don't know what it is, what we're going to do. Like, we have to come up with some idea. Jessie needs to smile sometimes. There you go. That's
smile.
Genuine.
That's the 50
So
landmark.
I don't know. We'll have a toast or whatever. I don't know what regulations or guidelines YouTube has on alcohol on videos, but I think just to be safe, we'll have like, I don't know, apple cider or something. I have no idea.
Cider?
Yeah, some
Apple cider,
sparkling water here,
or some sparkling water,
or some.
Not sponsored. Now I have to blur that out.
Yeah.
Ethan has new camera, so he looks a little crisp to everybody here.
I like that word, crisp.
Crisp, yes, crisp.
It is looking crisp.
And to our Mexico audience, buenas noches, bienvenidos. Aquí estamos con otra episodio 40. Ahí está Oscar.
There you go. Now, like last thing, would you say 49?
Yes, I said 39.
To say, ¿Qué hubo le?
39.
¿Qué hubo le México?
Cool. All right. So we have a fun-filled episode tonight. Oscar is going to take us down the mystery lanes of the Queen Mary. A lot of people might be familiar with this, especially if you live in the Los Angeles area. If you don't, you might still be aware of it. If not, then the people that aren't aware of it, Oscar's going to give you those tidbits, I guess. I'm assuming, based off of what you sent us, Oscar, a lot of it has to do with specific stories within the Queen Mary, which is great because usually it's just an overview of the Queen Mary, and people are just like, it's haunted. There's ghosts there. I saw one when I was peeing in the restroom or something. But
I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that.
It's almost going there. You just stopped them right there. So
I stopped myself. I started thinking.
I saw it in your eyes.
I started thinking like, guidelines and like monetization. I can't do that.
But then he's like, but I gotta say it.
But I have to say it. I'm trying so hard not to. But yeah. How any new paranormal things going on that happened to anybody since the last episode? Anything like that?
Me, yeah, actually.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I won't say paranormal, but kind of like an Oscar situation.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll jump into the main topic right now. I just want to address our audience real quick. If you're watching, please submit your ghost stories or your paranormal stories or aliens or any type of entity or cryptid or anything like that. We actually have a submission that I'm going to go over after our main topic. So without further ado, Oscar, take us away.
All right. So yeah, I was researching this topic, and honestly, every single time that I kept looking into it, there was more and more that just like unravels of it. And obviously, I don't know. Have you guys ever been to the Queen Mary? Seen it?
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh, you guys have actually been there?
Yeah, I've done
stuff has happened to me at the Queen Mary.
I've done the little like ghost tour thing.
Oh wow! Okay.
Too.
When you're done, I'll give you my own personal experience there. Ethan, I know I kind of skimmed over your paranormal thing that happened to you. We'll do that at Final Thoughts. We'll show it for them, just so we can get into the main topic.
Yeah, but damn. Okay, so I feel like I'm the only one that hasn't been there.
I haven't
Wait,
been
Oh
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Jesse hasn't been there.
okay.
I was about to say like the one person that with the topic.
I mean, I've been
The Queen
next to
Mary.
it. I haven't been inside, but
Maybe
um,
we can go and check it out.
yeah, I think that's something that I'm gonna
Yes,
save for like maybe like I don't know some sort of milestone that we hit and actually stay there. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, just to kind of start it off, like I honestly thought the Queen Mary was just like another luxury liner that people, which it was right once upon a time,
at
but
some
it
point. Yeah,
actually has like
for
a really
sure.
dark history when it came to World War II, and it claimed a lot of lives, claimed a lot of kids, and just people that were there. So I'm just gonna kind of go down like of how it actually started, and it was one of the liners that pretty much was survived the Great Depression, World War II, and it was the cousin of the Titanic. So we all know how big the Titanic was, but it started to
Right.
become dark very, very quickly. But it was one of the fastest cruise liners that was around that you can get from England to New York in 4 days. So I've never been on
Hmm.
a cruise. Has anybody been on a cruise before?
Hmm.
No.
No, I have
Yes.
not.
Yeah. Okay. Does it
Yes, I
go? Does
have.
Because
it?
I have silicophobia, and you'll never catch me on a cruise. If you don't know what silicophobia is, you can Google it. Because I don't want to say it.
All right.
I have a phobia of sharks. There, I said
I
it.
was gonna go, I was gonna say I was gonna do dun
I
dun
thought it was like
dun dun dun
in
dun
the
dun
middle of the
dun.
ocean or something. I don't know. That was. I mean, I think everybody's scared of sharks, dude. Like, come on, bro.
No, no,
Oh
no,
no,
no. You
no,
don't
no, no, no,
understand. You don't
no. I got
understand.
dragged. I got dragged out of the shark encounter at SeaWorld because I was freaking out. They had to stop everything and pull
Oh,
me out.
dang. All right.
Two things before we continue. So, the one thing about Sergio, he has this phobia, but he loves Shark Week. And
Yes, you have to know your enemy.
hold
You
on,
have to know your enemy.
and then whenever we tend to go to like a pool, Sergio's always like, you never know, a baby shark might come through the,
The
the
vents or
pipes and the
something.
vents and just
You
gonna
never
go in the
know.
pool, and you just never know.
You
I'm
just
like,
never know.
Sergio,
You just never know.
I mean,
You never know.
yeah, you never know, right? So I'm assuming that you don't like to watch Shark Tank.
You're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be on a ship
Why would you say that, Jesse?
because it's gonna happen. I want to
Eh,
give you
but you know
something.
what?
I'm gonna put you
Okay,
on a
and
wheelchair.
I'll say this about the Queen Mary. I've been on the Queen Mary a few times, and I don't know. You don't feel like you're on the water. It just feels like a building to me.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, well,
it's
that's
weird.
what they said they did. I mean, the mooring, I think that's what it's called, when they just
Hmm.
literally, it's the foundation is not even really the boat anymore. It's just
Right.
built on there. Um, but yeah, I mean, jumping back into it, like, just I just want to give like I guess to the viewers of what if you do know or don't know how it actually looked like, but it just had exquisite dining rooms, swimming pools. There was radio broadcasts every single day. There was kennels for dogs, for the passengers' dogs, a child's nursery, and even a hospital. So it was huge,
It
right?
had everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally had everything on there, and but it was during a time where the world was, getting into that World War II, and they literally
Hmm.
gutted it, and they started to transport military, people, and from 5,000 to
Right.
15,000 soldiers across the world. Now, during that time, though, 47 people actually died while they were at sea. And specifically, there's this one guy called John Peter um, that was crushed by a door, an emergency drill. There was another
Ooh,
one that died while he was
brutal.
drinking gin, but it was actually cleaning fluid. And the other ones during that time, they died of natural
Wait,
causes. But
how would something like that happen? Would
that sounds like
someone put it
murder.
in his drink? That sounds like some
Yeah,
homicide
it
stuff, right?
does.
Devastating.
yeah, so as I started to read more of these stories, they all sound like these people just went crazy, or something on that ship. It had something, because if you keep looking down, like if I keep reading the story, there were some people that were um like just shoved into like these small suffocating hot like rooms because they were
Mhm.
just trying to fit 15,000 people where only 2,000 people fit, right?
Wait,
So
what?
yeah, this is
Obviously I
already
don't
like
know
in the military
the
part.
details. That's okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So it's
okay.
crazy though, but like this is where the Queen Mary eventually turned to what is called the Gray Ghost because it moves so fast, undetected, and even Adolf Hitler. had a bounty on it for about 25 or 2,500
Really?
thousand
Okay.
dollars to get it like sunken. But
Uh huh.
outside of that, some of the other stories, there's people that say that the staff went crazy, and one of the most gruesome rumors is that one of the chefs was actually locked into one of his ovens and they roasted him alive. So
Jeez.
it just
A
gets
lot of
even
brutal
more.
things going on here.
How big is this oven?
Yeah. So I mean, there's during that time of World War II, there was 300 more deaths that happened, but they all seem to be things that because of the people that either encountered a ghost already or they just went crazy and they started to do like or what we see from our end is who's going to throw them in the oven, well obviously somebody. Who's going to replace the gin, somebody.
Right.
Who's going to, I don't know, the emergency drill, they could have just thrown him under and like trampled all over him and like left him there, right? But they got to the point where there was people jumping off the boat. They had collided with some boat at a certain time and they didn't want to stay in there anymore. So as of today, they they report that there's over 100 spirits that possess this boat. And I think the most scariest one that I read was uh, it's a little girl that's in the pool, and they people that stay there
I think
hear,
Ethan knows that one.
yeah, they hear her calling her mom's name, like in the middle of the night, in one of the first class pools.
I have a story for that one too.
Well,
The little
I think
girl.
Ethan's now correct me if I'm wrong, Ethan. You've gone and done. You've taken stuff with you like cameras and stuff, right?
No,
Are
not
you allowed to?
cameras. No. So here's the thing. So when I did the night investigation, you're not supposed to take anything, but I secretly took my EVP recorder and took
Course you
it in
did.
my pocket. I mean, but I need to find it because I want to show it out for that specifically because when we couldn't go in the pool because it's closed off.
Right.
But we did go near it, and then when I had the recorder there, and you can hear the tour guide talking and saying like, "Oh, there's a little girl here." You sometimes whenever how do I say girl here,
The girl.
The gur,
um,
the burr, and the gur.
and you can hear her saying like, "Oh, some of the when you stay here, if you're close enough, you can hear a little girl." And as she's saying that in the EVP, you can hear something go like something like like that. I'm like, oh
I remember this EVP.
yes, and it was fucking scary.
crazy.
Sorry, it was scary.
Ethan. Marker.
Gringo.
was really scary.
Most of the editing of last podcast was like me muting Ethan with the F word.
It was really scary
Bopping.
because I think throughout, if you continue, I'll probably pop up with some stories. But
Yeah, Ethan has a lot. I mean, both of us have a lot of Queen Mary.
Oh, heck
That
yeah.
was
Definitely
scary.
But go ahead.
share. I mean,
Continue.
maybe this is one of them. If you guys know the story about one of the staff locked a man in like this room because he murdered two women. And during that night when they locked him in there, he was beating on the door because he said there was something in there with him. They didn't open it. In the morning, they opened it, and his body was just like mangled, literally just like ripped apart.
Oh,
So nobody really knows if it was a ghost or he did it himself or anything like that. But there's even other stories of the famous room, which I believe is B30 340, and people stay in there, and that people wake up with the faucets on, people standing over them on their bed, like watching them sleep. And dude, I don't know, like reading more about this, I'm like, I want to go on there. I don't know, but what do you guys? I mean, you guys are
It's
on
an
there.
ex-
Does
It's
it say
it's an
anything about
experience.
current staff going crazy or anything like that?
Not currently going crazy, but there is people that say that when you do go on there, there's places they don't even want to go to. Like they'll tell you, like, "Hey, this part of the ship, I don't want to go, but this is where you'll find this and this," because they just feel they so much experiences have happened.
Okay. Well, it's true. A lot of things do happen there. I get the last time I ventured to The Queen Mary was in 2017 or something like that. And I went with a person who will remain nameless. And they yearly they have haunted mazes there.
Mhm.
And
Jessie. All I hear is from Jessie go,
you want to know what Jessie was thinking of the timeline, and that's why she started laughing.
yeah, it's exactly what it was.
Anyway, moving forward, we were in a maze.
Oh, I thought that was the scary part.
Oh fuck.
There's Ethan
Sorry.
again with the F's. So we're on a maze. It was in like the lower parts of the ship. You can't see anything down there, by the way. And already you're kind of on edge because you're just waiting for someone to be in the on every corner trying to scare you. And something grabbed my hand. Now, this particular maze, you would walk off separated from the last person. And something grabbed my hand. I turned around thinking, it was one of the, scare workers or someone that was just behind me and they didn't listen or whatever. There was no one there. And that's like one small, and I even stayed the night there that night. And you just feel weird, especially when you're peeing, you're just having a good whiz, and so you feel like something's just watching you. You feel vulnerable. And I don't know. You just in every corner of that ship, it just feels heavy. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Jessie?
Because I know what she's thinking about.
Would you just tell the story?
So
if you want to know the real story, make sure to
join our Patreon
to the exclusive content.
Patreon exclusive content. Anyway, it's just a crazy experience there. Honestly, you don't feel at ease the entire time you're there. You feel like you're being watched all the time, or you just feel.
Is it scary for real though? Because
yes, it's not like manufactured. It's not like the ship staff has a contract with the company to make sure everybody feels unsettled, and like they do a great job at what they do, and you still feel like you're during that period of time on the ship, and it feels that way. It's just the element that they don't have control over is the paranormal portion.
Yeah.
And it does. You can feel it. Like, and just so you know me, if it's BS, I'm gonna say it's BS. And
I'm just saying because like how we've gone like to Old Town and you go into like the Whaley house, whatever. Like I didn't feel anything.
I didn't feel anything at the Whaley house, to be honest with you. Just at the Whaley house, I only felt it in the courtroom. That was it. And outside of that, nothing.
I honestly feel more creepiness in that house, like that hacienda where there's different rooms than the freaking Whaley house.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to visit the Queen Mary. I've never.
Jessie's gonna go in the Queen Mary and just like.
No, she's gonna walk in. She's like, "I wait."
My stomach hurts. Chale, ya me voy. Like that.
My stomach hurts. Who has Pepto-Bismol here? My stomach hurts.
Me va a dar chorro ahí. No, hombre.
But I will say,
and Ethan has. You go ahead and say your story, and then I'll say mine.
The room, since you said a room, Sergio can really like agree with me on this. You feel weird when you're walking down the long hallway of the ship. Dude, yes. And it's not because it's long and it looks creepy and it's an optical illusion or whatever, but it's more like you feel like you're being watched. That's what it is. Yes. It feels like there were times when I was walking down the hall and you feel like there's like something like in the corner of your eye as you walk past, because like they're indents of the rooms. So like sometimes like it's small enough for someone, or big enough for someone to hide there. So it's like you feel that feeling of someone just watching you, and then
you do,
yeah, and it's.
We have several stories, and okay, this is a perfect example, Jesse. One quick little story before we rudely interrupted Oscar and.
Nah, it's all good. This is what it's all about, bro. Opening up the vault.
So my grandma, God rest her soul, she experienced something, and she's a cynic, or she was a cynic. You tell her something, and this is the same lady when we bought Pokemon cards. She's like, "Oh, tira esas chingaderas. No tiene nada que ver eso." And now they're like worth thousands of dollars. So she's a cynic hardcore. So from what I remember, so this was one of our cousins' wedding. He had his wedding on the Queen Mary, and
you could do that.
Everybody was drunk. Yeah, you could do that. And my grandma thought she saw someone walking down the hallway, and they were like in Victorian garb, or not Victorian. I would just say like 1940s, attire. And it just didn't look, at first she thought it was, a worker just dressed that way or what have you. But she said she turned around and then looked back, and that person was gone, and there was no doors or in that corridor or anything like that. And she freaked out. So, and she had to tell somebody about it. And that kind of shed a little more light on it because she experienced it, and she was very much a person to tell you, "Oh, there's nothing here," even though there might be something there, but she experienced something. That same night, coincidentally, I was plastered, and I was supposed to stay in one of my aunts.
I remember this.
I was supposed to stay in one of my aunts' her room that she rented. Needless to say, I never made it to the room. My mom was asking where's Sergio, and I was nowhere to be found. Apparently, I was on the third floor or deck or whatever you want to call it, just sleeping or lying down on the stairs. While I was sitting there was someone staring at me down the hallway, and I was like, okay, they're just looking at me because I'm drunk or whatever. I'm just being a fool.
I don't know.
And every time I would blink, that the entity would get closer, and like in different places. And I just said, I got to get that. I started feeling that the compression on my chest, and I was like, I have to get out of here. So I just got up and just started walking. I was walking in that damn ship for, I'm not even kidding, Jesse, like an hour, just droning on, not knowing where the hell I was. They didn't know where everybody just they just left me. They just left me there. And so eventually what ended up happening, I found my way out. I don't even know how that happened. And I just went to go sleep in my car. And ever since then, I was like, I never want to come back to this damn ship ever again. I did anyway.
But you did.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'd go back. Truth be told.
For the 10K sub special.
And Ethan, do you have another experience there, Ethan? Or was it? Oh, no, you do have another.
I have a lot more, but I want to add one more thing to your story.
I'll go for it.
Your phone had died at the same time, so we couldn't call you.
And my phone died. It was like a perfect storm. It was
like we were calling and like, his phone's dead, and then me and Michael went to go look for him. We couldn't find him at all. I mean, we couldn't find Sergio at all. And then my mom was like, "But he's drunk. He's gonna get in trouble. The front desk is gonna see him, and this is." I'm surprised the front desk didn't say anything to you.
The front desk would have been like, it's just a ghost.
They're gonna assault him.
What other stories you have?
Your tata's there, dude. Did you see? Have you felt your tata?
At the Queen Mary?
No, you there at your house.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was.
Where did that come from? That was
what?
Oh, just I saw like a.
Like right now?
Huh?
where? Here?
Wait.
Here or here?
Over
Right
here. That's yeah. The other way.
What was he
Oh,
doing?
this one.
I just saw him. It just like I saw like like his energy.
Oh, he's probably looking at my guitars. Cabron, you don't need all these guitars. That's probably what he said. I'm sure. Ooh. You know
So
never fails. Something like this happens.
Hey, it always takes turns, bro. It like Michael, then it was Ethan, then it was me.
Forget about
He's
yours.
looking
Yours
for
was.
Oli. He's looking for Oli.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll find her. She's over there asleep.
I'm sure he'll find her.
She's
like,
not here.
He knows
She's
where
not here. Go.
It's fine.
The house.
Go
I'm
through the
busy.
walls.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, Tata, it's over there. It's all right.
It's such a like a heartfelt feel.
Yeah, that's great. Was he okay? Yeah.
Jessie wants to cry.
I know, I do.
I can tell.
It's very heartwarming.
Well, I'll just so that
I need some context.
just
here.
say Ethan's gonna be put to shame right now. Okay. I was his favorite because I'm named after him.
Yes, he was a favorite. Sorry, Ethan.
Okay.
Look at Ethan. Look at Ethan.
Now he's gonna cry.
Hey, Ethan's like, oh yeah, he taught me how to swim, and he took care of me before school all the time, and he told me I'm his favorite. What?
On the real, though, but going back to that story where you were seeing somebody in the hallway, don't you think? Well, they say that there's a guy that walks on that ship, the one that got by the emergency door. He goes around.
Do they outline what he looks like or anything like that?
Yeah, so
I remember that now.
His name is John. I think it's John Peter. Peter Ghost is often spotted wearing blue overalls or coveralls. Sometimes he'll run behind people whistling as if he's warning them. Other times he'll ask guests if they've seen his wrench, and when they turn around to see where he's going, he's gone.
Yeah, he had like a suit. It was like a suit, from what I remember.
That's odd, right? Have you seen my wrench? It's pretty creepy.
Have you seen my tool wrench? It looks like a piece. Okay, there, I had to say it.
Oh my god.
God.
Yeah, honestly, it could have been his spirit. I don't know. I was a little too hammered, to be honest, to make anything out. It was more of, I just knew somebody was there. They had a suit, and like I'd close my eyes, open them, and this person was still standing there, but in different positions or a different distance from where I was at. And it's a crazy feeling on that ship. It's Jessie, am I looking at this correctly where people can feel different than other people when they're in certain areas? Like some people may not feel how I feel on that ship.
Some people are just not going to feel anything at all. They're just not open.
Because they're not receptive.
They're just going to walk through and be like, oh, it's fine, nothing happened or whatever.
Right. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
But also I feel like it's like the same adrenaline, right? Where you know something's there. So like you want to get scared. So you start feeling something, but then it's like, but if you really feel something, you'll be able to know.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'm drunk. I'm not like, I'm going to go look for ghosts. It was more
and then like you being drunk, it's like you're more prone to seeing something because your senses are all screwed up. And so
that makes sense.
You'll just be like, oh, I saw this, but I was drunk type of thing. So
what you're saying is that whenever we go out and do like ghost hunting, we should be faded.
We can.
You're going to say that.
Does that increase?
What is that saying?
Like
out of the mouth of drunks and babes comes the truth? Or
yeah, it's true.
Does that increase like the
Yeah.
the ability to see things.
I just think you're more open because you're
Yeah.
vulnerable,
Okay.
Right.
and it's not so
Maybe
much.
even on a different frequency because you're drunk.
Yeah,
Damn. So you and
definitely.
Ethan have been there a couple times, had experiences.
Hmm.
Do you think those entities remember you if you were to go back?
I don't know. I don't know if spirits have the capacity to remember. Remember anybody that's not within their living reality, meaning anybody when they were alive, they remember them, but they don't remember anybody only that they've encountered in their past life, um, or in their spirit life, I should say. Am I right on that, Jessie? I don't think that's like a possibility, or is it?
Yeah, like I was reading something interesting about, my sister was telling me something interesting about this lady that does all kinds of studies on death, right? And so one of those was like the reason that this is like her theory, that the reason that there are ghosts is because when you die, it's always like a light or something you see to the right. That's why you always see like people that just like have their heads turned usually. And there's supposed to be like a light and on a different frequency, it's like a family member, somebody that they recognize. And once, if there's too much commotion or drama or trauma going on, like when you're dying, then
Mhm.
there's a certain time limit that light is open.
Mm.
And that's why the ghost you won't necessarily be a ghost per se, but you'll stay at this frequency like your spirit will. That's why they say the worst places like to go or when you die is like a hospital, because there's so much commotion
So
and
much
shit
going
going
on.
on and
Yeah.
frequencies of everything, machinery, that there's mostly a lot of ghosts there because they miss that time frame of going into the light and they get stuck in limbo or whatever you want to call it.
The waiting room.
Andale, like a lobby. It's
Oh,
like a
okay.
lobby. That's how they explain it.
No wonder Raza loves to go back home. They want nothing to do with the hospital. Makes total
No,
sense.
they're like, llévame a mi casa.
Yeah, mi casa, yeah.
Quiero morirme en mi casa.
Quiero morir en mi casa. Oh yeah, I agree. It's that's a very interesting way to look at it. I don't think if we were to revisit, the Queen Mary, I don't think this Ghost that Saw Me Faded is gonna be like, yo, what's up?
Hey,
You're gonna
Está el
get faded
borracho.
run that
again?
fade.
Está el borracho la otra
Run
vez.
that fade. But I think honestly, like that little girl, in because she's supposedly in the pool area
Yeah.
at the Queen Mary,
Mhm.
correct? And I think that poor soul of that little girl is stuck in a perpetual loop over and over again. And that's why they keep experiencing the same thing over and over again in that area, because she's stuck in that forever loop. I don't know what could cause that, what kind of death could cause that, or what kind of entity, if there is an entity involved in that, what could create that. But I really do believe all the stories I've heard about that little girl, even Ethan's accounts on that little girl, they're all very similar. So I'd like to believe that she's just in a forever loop. Unfortunately, poor little girl. And it's sad to hear that. But Ethan, if you want to, I guess it's a good segue for you to
I
talk
have
about your
one
experience.
more. I don't know if it was the overall guy or not, but it was someone that did die, like in like the boiler area.
Oh yeah.
That was creepy because it again, you go down there and it's hot. I mean, it's the boiler, but when you
Do
go
you have
down,
finger knives?
oh my god, Jessie.
Finger knives.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're okay. What was I?
So we go to the
It
boiler
was
in
in
the
room.
the boiler.
Oh yeah.
Boiler room.
So you like
You're just thinking of Freddy Krueger and and Edward Scissorhands and finger knives.
So you go down there, and obviously it's really hot. But the thing that you feel though when you do go down there is like, again, the feeling of like being watched. But
Yeah.
the weird thing is, it's not being watched like, oh, someone's around the corner, because there's long hallways. You feel like they're, and you can't see at the end, so it's like kind of dark. It just looks like, and you can look down there and you can feel like something's staring at you, just watching you while you're like looking down there. And then what I experienced down there, I didn't experience anything scary, but someone in the group that was there said that like they felt like some, like they had their hand down to the left hand side, and it felt like someone just went like this to their hand,
That was Sergio.
and they jumped,
Going steady. All right.
and they jumped, and it scared all of us. But then they're like, someone tried to hold my hand, and he looked to her right, and there's like no one there.
Could that have been a child doing that? Could have.
Well, some more context on that. So, room B474 is where that girl was murdered. Oh, actually, no.
Right.
Sorry, that's little Jackie. Little Jackie is the one that is in
the pool area.
In the pool area. In room B474, there was a young family that was murdered. Dana was shot dead in the cabin. Her mom and sister were strangled in the cabin and saloons. But now Dana roams the ship between the boiler room and the pool. And Grumpy the growling ghost, I don't know, I guess that's what they named it, has
Grumpy?
known
Grumpy.
to growl at visitors from both the pool and the engine room. So it could have been one of those.
Yes.
If they're in the boiler.
Growl?
Okay. Grumpy, huh? They couldn't think of any other thing but one of the 7 doors. That's great.
They're like big sleepy,
A big sleepy
little puppet.
little puppet. LBC. Oh, I mean, it's just. I'll say this, based off of everything that you sent us, Oscar, and what we've been discussing, it feels like, honestly, feels like the Queen Mary was cursed from construction of this thing.
From its existence.
Yeah, like honestly, I think someone cursed this ship. Yeah, it didn't, it didn't sink or get hit by an iceberg or, kill Leonardo DiCaprio like the Titanic did. But
I think it claimed more lives though than anything. Like
it sounds like it.
Yeah.
And I do remember one other story. I don't remember where I heard it from, but they used the ship during World War II as an infirmary for all the wounded and honestly, I think they stored a lot of the dead, troops or military personnel in the ship, and transporting them and what have you to certain locations. And it's just that, coupled with everything else that's gone on with the ship, I just feel like it was just doomed to happen. It's sad to say because it's a beautiful ship. If you guys ever go, Jessie, I'd suggest you go. It's a beautiful ship. They have a bar at the end of it. Great place to go hang out. It's just once you dig your toes in and you start to, stay there or what have you, it's a different experience. And it's not from what I've experienced, it's not a pleasant one. I've yet to come across a spirit or entity there that's nice. For the most part, they're not malicious. They don't do any. From what I've experienced, they haven't done anything malicious. It's more of making you feel uneasy or unwelcome. And I think the biggest part that I experienced was definitely in the bedroom that I stayed in 2017. It was I remember the TV turning on a couple times on its own in the middle of the night. Just feeling like something was there. You never had peace. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't sleep very much there at the Queen Mary. I'm surprised you haven't been there, Oscar. You lived in LA all of your life.
I mean, I can definitely I don't know if by myself, but I'll definitely
Oh,
go.
that's why he was like, we can. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
come with me,
but I do
please.
want to. I know you guys are talking about SD, the Whaley House. I think that's what it's called.
Mhm,
I'll be in SD in
mhm.
2 weeks, so
Mm,
I can probably pass
okay.
by, see what's up. Just kind of like I did with the Hell's Gates.
Yeah,
So
dude, go to the Whaley House. I think it's like $10 to get in or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the, spoiler alert: all the bedrooms are blocked by plexiglass. You can't go in the
mm,
rooms or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you can go in, but
Yeah.
you can definitely not all of them. Like some stuff you can see inside, and there's like
The
a
kitchen.
church or like a couple areas that you walk inside and down into.
Yeah, there's a church that doubled as a courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, there's a dude that hung himself in there. So,
oh damn. Okay.
from what I
Are you
remember,
able
I
to
don't remember the
record
But
or
story.
that
no?
little hacienda is gonna be creepier than the Whaley House.
Yeah,
I'm
the
pretty
hacienda
sure.
is for sure. You
Okay.
should check that out as well.
Are you able to record in the Whaley House or no?
I did.
I
had.
did.
Yeah, I did. You don't. I don't know. I don't feel much. Ethan, did you feel anything while going into the Whaley House?
I didn't
don't
feel
either.
scared.
I didn't.
No,
Either.
I mean,
It's a tourist attraction more than
yeah.
anything. Honestly, that's what it is.
The one place I do want to still go to, I don't know if Jessie's down to go because I don't know if she would have a field day, but Jerome.
To where?
Jerome in Arizona.
Oh, I thought you said
It's
Rome.
no.
I was
Rome?
like, damn, bro, you trying to look at
I was
the
like, you're taking me
Spartans?
to Rome?
Shit.
I was like, vamos?
Ay, vamos. Vamos a vacaciones. Vamos.
Well, no, because it's very dark. It's a lot of dark energy there, like a lot of demonic and like a lot of bad energy that's there, and you feel it when you're there. Like it's not good at all. Like
Like just the sliver size of what it is, what's there, and the energy that's there. In Jerome, they had slaves, and unfortunately, the good portion of the slaves that they had in that area was raza. It was Mexicans, and still to this day, Ethan, you can attest to it. There's signs that are still put up in some establishments that have signs that say "No Mexicans allowed." It's a great, and there's a lot of stories behind Jerome. I guess we could shelve that for another episode because there's a lot that Ethan experienced, that my dad experienced, and my dad is another person. It's kind of like his mom, very cynical and just like there's nothing here, and like kind of talking negatively to entities or to demons or saying demon come at me. Jess, you know how my dad is.
That's
Not
Yes.
wild.
good. Not good.
he didn't say that day though. I can tell you that.
Now that day,
He was scared.
It scared him. So if it scared my dad to be there, I want to go visit it for sure. But coming back to the Queen Mary, it's I don't know. I feel like there's too many spirits, too many just ghosts in general, and I don't know. I feel like maybe that's why when I was there, I felt super. My chest felt rough, dude, and I think it had a lot to do because there's so much there.
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it's a good idea or if maybe it is to get Jessie to go over there. Maybe she'll see some crazy shit, or maybe she'll freak out because there is too much going on in there. And Ethan, before we move on to anything else, did you experience anything with the little girl in the pool area?
No, the only thing I had was just the EVP. Remember, like
Hmm.
I didn't because when we went, the pool area was closed, so we couldn't go inside of it. But they had an opening that you can see through, kind of like plexiglass.
Yeah.
But you can see in it, like see through. And that's it. At the time, they were doing something where we couldn't go in, but the only thing was just the EVP that I got. That when I was near the door, you hear a little female voice just like agreeing to whatever the tour guide was saying, basically saying like, "Oh, you can hear her at night if you're quiet enough or you're nearby."
Like
And
playing?
then,
Is that what they're saying? Like she's playing or?
no, you just hear her. Like you can hear her like talking or making noises and stuff. And then as she was saying that to the EVP, and it showed you, I remember me showing you, you can hear someone just going like, yeah, or like agreeing, like saying yes.
Yeah, for sure. And then when you went with Danny and Sabrina too, right?
It was with Danny, Sabrina, Mom, and Dad.
So I remember when you guys got back, someone captured a photo. Now, if we could find that, that would be great.
Sabrina.
We should reach out to her. That way we can put it here or post it on our socials. She actually captured a shadow next to like a standing lamp. But hey, was there anything else, Oscar, on the Queen Mary?
Not anything else that I wanted to jump into, but I just think there's so much more that is there to find. Like you said, there's just so much time from when it was constructed to like today that there's just no way this is the only bit of story. Like over 300, 500 people died on this boat. So,
right. Thanks, Oscar, for sharing all of the Queen Mary stuff. I mean, there's so much behind the Queen Mary, and there's a lot more that we could definitely dive into. Maybe we can have a secondary episode in the future on the Queen Mary, on more specific encounters or people that have some of our viewers. If you're viewing this, submit your Queen Mary stories. Submit them. That way we can talk about them in future episodes. With that being said, perfect segue. I'm pretty good at those. Perfect segue into our first ever viewer submission. We're going to get into that real quick before we jump into video time. And our first submission. No,
I had a story. Remember?
Yeah. You're going to say it after the video time.
I thought you said it already.
No,
he hasn't. Okay. You know what? I'll give you time. Before videos. How about that?
Okay. It's not that long.
Okay.
Is that a funny story?
It's like 20 minutes. So.
It's like 2 inches. I mean, 2 minutes. Okay. So this submission is from Erick, and this place, everybody should be familiar with this because this is actually in California. And it's specifically in Ocotillo Wells. Jessie, I know you know where that's at. I don't know if you know where that's at, Oscar. It's east of where you're at, southeast actually, and it's pretty much out in the desert. Heading back to where we're from, Calexico, California, and out where Jessie's at right now, El Centro, California. See, I said El Centro, Jessie, this time. So, just going into what he submitted, he emailed us a hotel in Ocotillo Wells. Possible Skinwalker encounter. I never drive at night, but this time was different. I had scored a free night at a specific hotel in Ocotillo Wells. There's not that many hotels. I'm sure you can figure it out or Google it. So I hit the road late on a Friday. The sun had just set, and by that time, I got near the Salton Sea. It was pitch black. No street lights, no cell service, just the glow of a full moon.
Hell no.
Oscar's
already bad, bro.
I know. And his next line is, something felt off. Out of nowhere, this thing darted across the street as I was driving. At first, I thought it was a deer, but it moved weird, kind of like Golem from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, hell no.
It was on all fours, brown and twitchy with hair. I stopped. It stopped, and then it stared at me like it was looking straight through me. Oh, hell no. And then he said, I floored it. As I drove off, I swear it looked like it was about to lunge at the truck, but luckily it didn't, and I was able to drive off. When I got to the hotel, my room key was taped to the door. I went inside, sat down to stretch my legs, and suddenly there was a woman massaging me.
What?
Hold on, time out.
What?
Like a succubus, incubus type of situation?
I don't know, but we can discuss after. It's possible. So he says a woman started massaging me. Before I could react, she started eating my leg. And then he says, then I woke up. It was a dream, but it felt too real.
Oh,
The next morning, I was chatting with one of the hotel workers while he was hosing down the front pad. I asked why it smelled like a wet dog. He just shrugged and said, could be a skinwalker. I told him not to say that because that freaks me out. Then he shared a story how once a guest screamed help in one of the rooms, in a man's voice from inside a room. When they rushed in, the room was empty. The restroom too. There was no one in there. He warned me to be careful. Said there was a time when 16 coyotes surrounded the hotel. Around the same week, a boy went hiking alone in the nearby mountains. They found his body shredded that afternoon. Then he says, locals say if you see a green orb, it means that the skinwalker is nearby. And his name is known out here as Goldie. So Goldie is a skinwalker that, so this is in California.
Frequents around there.
Yeah, but this is in California. He was telling me that there's an episode about Goldie in Skinwalker Ranch. So therefore, it's linked to the skinwalkers in Utah. It could be from the same tribe of the natives. It's possible. But there's more to be said looking into Goldie. So he said that if you see that, that means Goldie is near. It's said to disguise itself as a wolf or a coyote, maybe connected to ones from Utah, like I outlined. And he said, look up Indian Palm Well. You'll see exactly what I mean. So it is a crazy story. I don't know what kind, if a skinwalker has those kind of powers to make him daydream, and then him being in the hotel already, and he met, like, dream up his leg getting eaten by a woman. But overall, this whole experience that he shared with us is wild. And us being from the desert, we are no strangers to the fact that there are crazy things that you see. I mean, you see it in cities too, but I feel like the desert is just, I don't know. What would you call it, Jessie? Would you say that the desert is more of a hotbed when it comes to paranormal things or
Yeah, because there's
extraterrestrial?
so much weird crap buried out there. God knows
Yep.
what they do out there.
Exactly. I agree.
is it also because it's just like less disturbance of like city life?
People and hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
And it's,
I think a lot of it here, though, is because like narcos will go bury people out there
definitely.
and torture.
Yeah.
Definitely. But do you think, Jessie, it's because there is less noise and the spirits, ghosts, entities, any paranormal life can breathe a little more out in the desert? They could exist without having too much commotion around?
No,
No?
not necessarily.
Interesting. So that's wild to say that what he said, you know, it was on all fours, brown and twitchy, and it like ran right. He said that it looked like a deer, but not really. That's like 100% on brand for a skinwalker.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Did
have.
anybody post a picture? Like if you Google Goldie, does it come
Yeah, let's
out?
do that.
Let's see.
Or you said look up Indian what? Palmdale? Something?
Indian Wells.
In Indian Palm Well. So I Googled it real quick, and in the context of Beyond Skinwalker Ranch TV series, Goldie refers to a mythical entity investigated by Andy and Paul in a remote California desert. Ding, ding, ding. Ocotillo Wells. Where local lore suggests scientific evidence supports this existence of the entity. But other forces may be trying to suppress the stories. That is crazy. Okay. I have my own Skinwalker story. I will save that. I've said it in later episodes, but with the rebrand, I think it's safe to say we could share it and maybe make it into a short story. But
my other question is, why is he going to stay in the hotel by himself? That's
so he off-roads. So
Oh, okay, okay.
there's a lot of off-roading in that area, and that's why he's staying in that. He stays out there by himself. And we are definitely, just so you guys know, we are going to be getting more stories from Erick. He said he's going to send us more submissions because he has a bunch. And I encourage anybody watching to do the same. Please submit your stories to our email, which is here, which is paranormaldudesstories@gmail.com. Please do that. So yeah, I mean, that was a submission. Now, Ethan, we're saving your time. You could go and share your story that you had.
So it's really quick. It's a short story. So last podcast I wasn't feeling good. I when I got off, I felt like I needed to like throw up. I just felt weak. I drank water and everything. I had to end up going outside just to like
feel so weak in the knees. I'm just kidding.
just to cool down. And then I finally went to sleep. But when I went to sleep that night, I had a dream that it was me lying down on the bed, and in my dream it wasn't like someone was over me, but like kind of like you know how there's this corner right here. So there's another corner on that side of the room, like over here. I don't know if you can see it. So the room was dark, and I had I was okay. I was being scary that day, so I had my lights on like at 1%, so I can have some light in here. Probably the worst decision I probably did. But the thing is, I don't remember.
You were being a scaredy cat, is what you're trying to say.
But I don't know if it was a dream or it happened in real life. But I remember waking up and like seeing something in the corner, just standing there. I couldn't tell what it was, but it looked like something. But then I woke up. So I was kind of like, wait, was that real or did I just dream that? And I probably dreamt it, but it freaked me out. And I kept looking that corner like this, looking that corner when I woke up. And that was it. I mean, it freaked me out, but it was just like if it was a dream, it was like really creepy because it was like the way I was laying down was how I was laying down, the way the room was, the lights,
everything mirrored.
Everything was exactly the same as I was asleep. But like when I was seeing the situation, it wasn't like I was seeing it from my point of view. I was seeing it from like if I was standing where I'm at right now and I can see it happen.
So it's a lucid dream.
A lucid dream?
You were on a different frequency, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. It freaked me out though. And then when I woke up, like I felt like something was watching me. You know, I get that feeling again of being watched. That's how I felt. And I couldn't sleep that night at all. I ended up going to work and literally having no sleep at all. So I was dead tired that day. So that was weird.
I think you need to USB charge yourself.
Yeah, charges USB.
Well, I remember that day Jessie was saying there's an energy, but it's nothing bad. It was just more of you like tripping out.
It wasn't.
That's why you left your door open? You slept with your door open?
It was closed.
You slept with your door open. I'm talking about the other door.
The back door.
The back door.
Which door?
On your tronies, the flap. You left it open.
Frequency door.
Because I went to sleep freaked out. Like
I think you just creeped yourself out and you had like a freaky nightmare or something happened, and
that's what I'm thinking too.
And you peed your pants and you were fine.
It just changes tronies real quick. Those cagados, these are fine.
Cagado. Tamarindo.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's dreams are never a fun thing, especially when you get scared.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Ethan. It's very kind of you.
Sergio told you to go to his house. You know, quisiste.
Yeah, you didn't come over here. That's your fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's video time.
Video time.
Strap yourselves in. Just so you guys know, the frequency of people that are in the know of us having a podcast and it being creepy. A bunch of people are sending me videos now so that we could feature them on the show. I cannot get through all of them. I apologize to anybody that's watching and you sent me a video. It's going to be hard for us to get through everything. I'll get through some, and we need some laugh moments, obviously, because it's always heavy, our episodes. I'll start with the laughing one.
No, that should be the last one, bro.
It'd be the last one, please. Don't make it the first thing.
Okay, fair enough.
You're gonna show the dancing one, or what?
Maybe. Here's this.
Volume down.
Yeah, me too.
Oh hell no!
Hell no.
That was the Babadook, bro.
Hell no. It's gone.
Good Lady Gaga.
What the hell?
That was Ethan last night.
It's funny that you bring up Ethan, Jessie. So Ethan has a scary story. He actually saw the Hat Man at one of my ex-girlfriend's house when he was sleeping over.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So at some point, Ethan, you go over that story.
Yep.
Maybe we'll make that into a
short.
Yo, what is that McDonald's one,
story,
bro? I'm gonna cover it.
Oh, this was submitted by my brother, Danny. He's like sending me way too much shit now. So here it is. Taking to McDonald's, we thought our daughter was alone in the playground at time. The face on the left was not visible at the time I took this. When she was asked who was next, next to T her? In the pic, she replied, "That's my imaginary friend, Beto." Oh,
full name of Beto. Nah, bro. The comment, y'all better get out of there.
I have way too much crap.
Oh, you watch him too?
Is this you, Oscar? No, that you sent me this.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Nah, bro.
So they're in Nayarit. Do you think they got their kids to be like, just go in there and run around?
Yeah, that doesn't look.
Yeah, that looks like the actual kids.
All right. To continue the theme of skinwalkers from Erick, here's a skinwalker video.
How you doing? Oh,
The comment, sorry.
just some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. Going at me like it's goddamn. What's up, dude? Buddy.
How would you even?
Oh, they were in
let him
a
get
car.
close?
I thought they were like walking.
Why would you even let
Maybe
him get
he's
that
on
close?
bath salts.
Yeah.
Bath salts. What's
I
this?
don't know what's that.
I can see you. Come to me. Are you
Ay,
a little
pinche
boy?
loca.
It's okay. Come here.
All the
It's
smoke
okay.
detectors going.
I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth.
It is.
She sounds crazy.
She sounds like she on crack.
Is you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Oh.
It's okay.
Come back.
How would you do that?
Go straight. Look straight towards me. No. Turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
Oh, what
Oh,
the hell? No, bro.
You think that ghost is fucking with all the 9-volt batteries so the
to get energy.
so the smoke detector could go off? Oh my gosh. I have some. Okay, so this is in obviously. I want to say it's Mexico, but check this out. No, it's not Mexico.
Oh, this is like Arabic or something.
Hell no.
Hold on.
You
What?
saw that, right?
I missed it.
The shadow had a delay. Look at.
Oh
What
yeah.
the heck?
Shadow had a delay from the actual. Okay, I think we could do Jessie this one. We'll do two more. One more scary one, and I don't know what this is,
I
but
love those. Are my favorite.
these. And then
Hospitals, yeah.
we'll look at a funny one.
Issue with ghosts or any weird, unexplainable stuff in my house, but I bought a guitar the other week at a garage sale from this old lady down the street, and every time I pick it
hell
up
no.
or strum it or play it, really weird shit happens, and I'll show you. It's some Lotus, like very 80s looking guitar, and every time I strum, like that, shit like that happens every time I mess with this thing. Shit like that. I've never had an issue with ghosts.
Bro, he's so nonchalant. No way.
See, those are the videos I feel like they're fabricated.
They're fake.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Look,
like
my guitar, he probably just got that shit in a pawn shop or
not
something.
just that.
Because he sucks. That's why.
It's because he sucks.
I feel like, especially when they're like, oh my god, look what just happened, or oh, the lights are flickering. Like, dude, you be pooping your pants right now.
I would. I would be like, that should not be happening. Okay, so there's this girl, and then the funny one, and then we'll save everything. We have so many videos.
Before this. Fun fact,
What's
I
that?
actually have a video on YouTube of me fabricating a ghost encounter.
Oh, you got to share that on the next one.
I was a kid.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, maybe
hilarious.
that's why you're all, you have all this stuff happening to you.
That's what I'm saying now. I just connected.
Okay.
I'm like, maybe that's what happened in my house.
Because remember, I think I said it last
Makes sense.
podcast, right? Like the people that fabricate things, I feel like things actually get attached to them because they fake it, and it like kind of messes with them.
Definitely. All right, here's this girl. She went camping out by herself with her dog.
Was sleeping in the woods alone with two dogs in Ohio. And immediately after setting up camp, one of the dogs stared at something for 15 minutes without reacting to her commands. And since the area isn't completely isolated, she didn't care and thought it was probably a hiker. But it turned out to be a calm moment foreshadowing what happened later that night, and she caught it all on camera. After putting her dogs inside the tent, she went out by herself in the direction Sumara was looking at to investigate.
Sounds weird here. I don't feel right, man. I don't feel good. Okay. Hi, my name's Dee. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I just like to get nature at night. I'm losing it. I'm scared. I've got myself freaked. Hi.
After seeing the bat, she decided to come back to her camp and read scary stories to her viewers when she started hearing strange noises outside her tent.
And I was shuffling. Hey! Woo!
After these noises, one of her dogs named Nia started shaking and nervously licking, which is a sign of distress. And sadly, it wasn't the end of horror experiences for them that night.
Get away from me. If you're near my tent, please leave. Stop, please. Hello?
She tried to see it through the mesh, but didn't notice anything, so she decided to leave. And while she was packing her stuff, she saw a man driving by who could have caused these. She was sleeping in the...
So all that could have been a dude. But
she looks crazy.
She looks scary.
And unstable.
Sounds like me. I almost got mauled by a
Is that
bear.
her usual defense mechanism?
Wait, would you say what?
Is that her usual defense mechanism?
I guess.
I was more
War
worried
cries.
about the dogs, to be honest.
Yeah. But she's crazy, so the dog was probably freaking out.
Okay, so one last funny video for the night, and we'll
One
call
last. We haven't had a funny
I know,
video.
what the heck?
What do you mean?
it. The one and
They've
only
been funny. I think they've been very funny.
There's some like RJ or something.
Jet. Some RJ.
Volunteer this time. Look at all these hands. I don't even have to get to the show. I just need to volunteer. She's not helping.
Oh my god.
She's not even raising her hand.
Oh,
What are you doing? Okay. All right. So,
oh damn! Straight ate her.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I laughed at that video for way too long. I saw it like 5 times.
Oh, you bubbles.
Well, if you're here, if you made it this far on the show, thank you so much for watching.
So really,
Thank
it was
you for
just one funny video, and then that was it.
That's all you get. That's all you get. Ethan's like,
I mean,
I'm
most of them were funny, okay?
Jessie, because Jessie's a weirdo. So thank you everyone for watching. Send us your submissions. Again, that email for your submissions is paranormaldudesstories@gmail.com right here. Make sure you send them there. If you know me personally, send me your videos there. You could DM me your stories as well, however you would like it. You guys have anything else before we bid them adieu? Oh, okay.
You think you don't have a story?
Nah, I'm gonna shove some of my stories for next episode, but
yes,
I got some
them,
updates and I got some other stuff. But
okay. Well, save it because we're at time, and we want people to come to the next episode. But with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribing, you're following on Spotify if you don't want to watch us here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching the show. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Later, dudes.